Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
And I'm Katie.
And you're listening to Ropedrop Parkhop.
Welcome back, friends.
Hello.
There's not a lot of news today, so we're going to read a review. We're going to talk about two things. I'm not happy with Disney today, so you're going to hear it in real time.
We're going to talk about one thing in real time as it's happening. Okay. So this one is from Steph from SAC.
Steph from SAC. I hope Sacramento.
I hope so, too. Disney Fix 5 stars. I love getting a weekly dose of Disney by listening to this podcast. I love that it's Disneyland focused, as I'm a West Coaster, Sacramento.
Yes.
And visit this one most often. Your happiness radiates through the podcast, and I love listening every Friday. Thanks, Steph from SAC. Are you still here, Steph from SAC?
Hi, Steph. If you're still here, let us know.
Yeah, please.
And thank you for that review.
And really,
we love them so much.
It still blows my mind how frequently we get messages from people whose reviews we've read from a year ago or more, and they're like, I'm still here.
So cute. I love it.
Give us a hello on the Instagram or on the whatever, interwebs.
For sure. Okay, well, let's talk about some kind of sad news at Disney. They are continuing to roll back entertainment at Disneyland at the resort, which we think has something to do with the union, but it's not official.
Nobody is going to tell us that.
No.
It's never going to happen.
No, but that's the rumor. So Warriors of Wakanda is cut back on their schedule. It's not gone for good. It's just very limited performances, and also the citizens of Buena Vista Street. The lady with the puppet dog.
Officer Blue.
Officer Blue.
What are their names?
We should know their names.
Okay, I will tell you.
They're cute, though.
They are really cute.
And I'll be sad to not see them out often.
I will be honest with you. They've never made a lot of sense to me. I mean, I get it, but also...
I feel like it's and Buena Vista Street wasn't in existence when California Adventure first opened.
Right.
That has something that was it was a refurb that they did at one point and brought those citizens in. But I think they're so cute.
Totally cute. They just don't make a ton of sense. Okay, I'm finding names. Stand by. I know it's Officer Blue. That's the one I really know.
And he's cute with his little round glasses.
Okay, yes. Molly and Millie.
Okay,
so
those
the
are
lady
the
with
dog.
the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Donna Lynn Delaria.
Okay.
And then Officers Clyde and Calvin Blue. Are they
twins? That's cute.
I didn't know that. That makes it even that gives a little depth to it. We've got twin police officers on Buena Vista Street. Oh, okay. So no. So Donna Lynn Delaria looks like she's the unofficial mayor of Buena Vista Street.
Okay.
There is no hyphen. Oh, and it's pronounced with a rolled R. Donna Lynn Delaria.
Okay.
Apparently. And she has a lovely companion dog named Lady. So she's one. Molly and Millie are not the dogs.
Okay.
Molly and Millie apparently are the second set of twins. Sorry,
Okay.
Molly, Millie.
Oops.
Molly and Millie are the other set of twins. They deliver packages on Buena Vista Street.
Okay. Yeah, I've noticed that they carry around like brown paper packages.
Yes.
Okay.
Calvin and Clyde Blue. Lots of twins.
Yeah.
Don't drink the water on Buena Vista Street, guys.
Right.
Calvin and Clyde Blue are the police officers that will give you tickets. Okay, Fifi Farouk Francis. She's the world traveler and the photographer. Lots of scarves, lots of bright
I've
colors.
seen her before.
Yes.
We met her in line when we were waiting for candy canes. She came by and talked to us.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I totally remember that. Okay. And then, that's it. So there's their names.
So now that you know them really well, plan on not seeing them. But sad. I don't like that they're cutting back on entertainment. And we haven't heard anything about whether the dining packages for the parade viewing at Disneyland have loaded yet, right?
I don't know.
That was an issue we talked about last week, I think.
Yeah.
Where people were not seeing them.
July.
Yeah. And so we wondered if maybe they were cutting back on parade performances too.
Here, let's start your gripe session while I search and see if I can see anything in the future.
So Friday, by the time you're listening to this, it will be in the past. Maybe we still will not have been able to register, but Run Disney registration opened to the general public today for the Disneyland Half Marathon at the end of January. It's the Seven Dwarves. We're working on it. Run Disney has an official statement on the Facebook that says we're working on it. People are mad. I don't know why they can't get their IT crap together. I've been on since 7 a.m. Disneyland time, just refreshing. So if you hear us pause real fast in the podcast, it's because it came up, but I doubt it. I doubt it's going to happen today.
And what do we predict? So Katie is headed out of town. Okay, really quick. I'm looking at July 31st for 2 guests. I'm looking at all day. There is the Better Together parade viewing dining package, which has been available.
Yeah, that one's been fine.
Time.
It's been
the Fantasmic dining packages are available. I do not see anything for
Magic Happens.
Ugh.
If that's gone by the time I go in July, I'm going to be so mad.
I hope not. I hope that's not a thing. Let's see. I bumped it out to the very last day that's available.
And not the dining packages. I don't care about that. I just don't want the parade to go away.
Right. The parade it's one of my favorites.
It's so good.
It's so good. What's your favorite parade they've ever had at Disneyland? Forget Paint the Night. Let's pretend that one doesn't even count. Let's pretend Paint the Night doesn't exist. Of the others, what's your favorite? Because I have one.
I think maybe the Main Street Electrical Parade, although that one's, been overdone now at this point, right? But I was so excited when it came back.
Would you be excited if they announced today that it was coming back?
No, I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. It's been overdone, but
you still love the nostalgia.
I still love it, yeah.
Okay, mine was I loved the Soundsational Parade.
Oh, okay.
I loved it.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Which I'd be so cool if they brought that back.
Neither one of us is picking Christmas Fantasy.
Nope, that is not going to happen. This is not the podcast for you if you love Christmas Fantasy. Sing the song. Just kidding. Don't please.
Oh, earworm.
So back to Run Disney.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to... Okay, so Katie leaves town this weekend. Mm-hmm. Here's what's going to happen. It's not going to work today. They're going to get there. Why can't they do this ahead of time?
I'm going to be out in the middle of nowhere driving when it finally drops, and then they'll announce Oogie Boogie is going to drop while I'm in the mountains. Yep,
Oogie Boogie's going to drop while you're in the mountains. What else did we say was going to drop while you're gone? There was something else that they were going to announce.
I don't remember.
I don't either. But... that's our prediction. Mm-hmm. We're going to hear about... So we're recording. It's 10:05 a.m. Boise time, 9:05 a.m. Disneyland time. On Tuesday, we're going to hear about Oogie Boogie this afternoon.
And it's going to be...
Next week while
I'm gone. While I have no cell service. Perfect.
Excellent. Sounds good.
Murphy's Law of Disney IT.
You are not allowed to plan vacations anymore. Oh, this isn't even really a vacation. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
Right. It's a little of both.
It's a little of both. Her husband is doing a half marathon
An Ironman, yes.
Next week.
In Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Mm-hmm. Beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
So
and then we're going to Glacier. Yeah.
That'll be so fun.
Cheer Heath on.
Yes.
If you're going to Disneyland this weekend, buy him a turkey leg in his honor, please.
Have a turkey leg in his honor.
He will love it.
Casey, Ellie, Jessica, Charlotte, you guys can have a turkey leg in Heath's honor.
Please.
He'd appreciate it. Send him your love and support. But yeah, don't take trips anymore.
I guess not. Not allowed to.
Yeah. Because there's
so
too
frustrating.
much
I did hear a little murmuring about they wondered if Oogie Boogie, if they're delaying releasing them because there's some issues with the entertainment for Oogie Boogie, which would really be terrible. Really terrible.
But you said that last year...
It was the 28th of June when they finally went on sale. I think they were supposed to go on sale the week before that, right? Remember that whole debacle?
But everything
and
crashed.
Then they rescheduled it for a week later. So it was June 28th. However, the dates are starting earlier this year. So they're cutting it pretty close.
I know.
I don't think they're worried about them selling, though.
No,
they'll sell out.
not.
They don't care about fixing the IT because it doesn't matter. They'll still sell out. But anyway.
When are we going to all band together and
Never
pick it and cause a stink?
Never.
It's so weird.
Everybody always threatens to boycott.
Nobody ever
Never
does.
happens.
I know. I wish they would. It'd make the crowds a lot lighter.
Right?
But whatever.
Okay, well, we have a fun guest today, so stay tuned. We're going to talk about some new things happening, not at Disneyland.
But it's worth listening to.
Totally
for sure.
worth listening to.
Well, actually, one of them's Disneyland adjacent.
Exactly, yes.
So,
something coming, a preview of coming attractions to Disneyland.
So don't hit stop.
Right.
Hit play.
Stay tuned.
Hi, Ropedrop and Parkhop fans. My name is Deb Holcomb, and I'm a travel planner with Mouse World Travel. I've been planning epic vacations for my clients since 2016, and I specialize in luxury land trips, ocean and river cruises, and leveled up theme park vacations. Think deluxe resorts, club level, VIP tours, and more. My favorite trips I've taken have been Adventures by Disney to Costa Rica, where I ziplined through the rainforest, and a Northern European cruise on the Disney Dream, where we sailed through fjords and relaxed in the Blue Lagoon. My favorite Disney park is Disneyland. As an East Coaster, I grew up going to Walt Disney World, and my first Disneyland visit wasn't until 2017. I love walking through Disneyland knowing that Walt had his hands on so much of what is still there today, and he got to see the park open. It's such a special place, and I love it more every time I go. My favorite Disney attraction is the Haunted Mansion. I've been able to see how the Pepper's ghost illusion works in the ballroom scene, and I would love to walk through the attic to get a closer look at all the details. My favorite Disney snacks are currently the garlic cheesy bread pretzel in Disneyland and the Black Calf cold brew Disneyland version only. When you're ready to book your next vacation, you can find me at mouseworldtravel.com, our team, Deb H.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Guys,
I'm
we have
here.
our favorite resident Mouse World owner with us today, Michelle.
Michelle from Mouse
So
World
good to be here.
Travel.
Yes.
We love having her.
you here
Yes.
because, Michelle,
you.
if you don't know this already, if you haven't listened to, have you been on twice already?
Once.
I think
Just once?
Yeah. Well, once when it didn't actually record.
And then we had
and
to
then
record it
once
again.
for reals.
That's
Right. Michelle's like the most well-traveled person I know.
Maybe.
In the Disneyverse.
In
right?
Disneyverse. Well, yeah, for sure in
Yeah.
the Disneyverse. But really, you're just always going somewhere.
Yeah.
When did you get
I
home
need
from
to-
this trip?
I need to calm that down.
No, you
Why?
don't. No, you don't.
This one, I just got home late Saturday night.
Do you ever unpack or do you just
No,
leave your suitcase?
This time, I'm
Perfect.
leaving everything ready to go.
'Cause
Late
she's
Saturday
headed-
night. And
yeah.
then when do you leave again?
I leave Thursday.
Oh, crazy.
Thursday night.
For Europe.
See, it's exhausting.
Where are you flying to?
To Rome.
Rome.
Yeah.
And what are you doing over there?
A
We are
cruise.
taking the Disney Dream, and it's like a Greek island.
Is this the one that Deb and her family are going on as well?
Yes.
Oh, that's the speak.
Dreamy.
Yeah.
Oh,
It'll
see what
be
I did
really
there?
fun.
Deb,
The dream. Dreamy.
you either just met Deb, hopefully,
Oh,
or
yeah.
you're going to meet Deb.
Yes, so let's talk about this for just a second before we
Yes,
get into
okay.
the meat. So we are going to be starting a series called the Mouse World Minute, and you are going to get to meet some of the other agents from Mouse World Travel and their specialties and what their favorite things are. You're going to love it. It's going to be amazing because we love these agents and you're going to love them too.
Yes, and so we know we're pretty well versed with Disneyland, Disney World, all things Disney, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't always know exactly what we're doing when it comes to European vacations or things that maybe we haven't dipped our toes into yet.
Maybe the foreign parks, too.
Right.
Exactly.
But we have really awesome agents that we work with who are a lot more familiar. So if you still really want to book a trip with us, you totally can.
Mm-hmm.
And we can tap into that resource, or we can always refer you to somebody else. And so we want you to meet some of the other agents that are available through Mouse World Travel so that you can make a great decision.
Yeah. Okay. So back to Michelle, who just returned from an awesome trip to Florida and a cruise out of Florida. And she got to experience a couple of new things that we wanted to talk to her about. Let's start with Lighthouse Point, and then we'll move on
Lookout
to
Cay.
the next
Yeah.
thing. Yes.
Lighthouse Point, Disney's Lighthouse Point at Lookout Cay.
Yeah.
It's the longest name in the
It's
history
true, and I'd
of
always
ever.
mix it up.
Me too.
I'd call it like
I think we
Lighthouse
have done that
Key
on the
at Lookout
podcast.
Point.
Yes.
Yes.
What makes the most sense?
I think
Lookout
I call it
Point.
Lighthouse Key, I think is
Yeah,
like
sometimes
the
I-
abbreviated version.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it now that we're saying all of this?
It's Lookout Point
At Lighthouse
at
Key.
Lighthouse Key. Or
Right?
K, however you, yeah.
Yeah.
Lighthouse Point at Lookout Cay. Lookout Key.
You are getting me mixed
See,
up.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Really,
I'm getting really
Castaway
mixed up
Key.
now.
Castaway Key. So easy.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking it up just to be sure.
I'm pretty sure it's Lookout Point at Lighthouse Key.
It is. Hold on.
Okay, while she's looking that
Yes.
up, let's
Okay.
talk about what it is.
Yes.
It's Disney's newest
It,
island, in quotes, because
Island
it's
stop.
yes, so it's kind of like a peninsula on Eleuthera, which
Yes.
is in the Bahamas.
Yes.
It's not an actual private island. They're not touting it as a private island.
Exactly.
Although a lot of people are calling it that still. It's not like Castaway Key, that is an actual
Where-
private
where
island owned by Disney
Yes.
and no other access to it.
Okay, final answer. What is it called?
It's
Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point.
No, it's Lookout Point at Lighthouse. No. You guys are mixing me up. I had it perfect, and now I'm like so
Close your eyes. Don't look at me.
Okay, it's I know they say it's Lookout Point at Lighthouse Cay.
Wrong.
Oh.
Just say it.
It is Disney Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point.
Oops.
But also
who
can we
cares?
come up with a nickname? We need to come up with a nickname.
LL.
What's the key?
The key is Lookout.
Lookout Cay.
Lookout Cay.
Lookout Cay.
At Lighthouse Point.
How about double L Key?
How about
LPLC?
How about Eleuthera?
Right.
How about Lighthouse Point? Let's come up with a way to remember this. Lighthouse Point. The lighthouse is going to be on the point of the island.
Okay.
Right? So that's where your lighthouse is going to be to direct the trips or the ships, whatever they're called.
Right.
And you look out from the key while you're up in the lighthouse.
So if we can remember Lighthouse Point.
At Lighthouse Point.
Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Please edit this.
No, that's going to be the best part.
It
Anyway, it's brand new. It just opened.
It just opened.
You were
I was
the first ship.
The very first ship.
Right.
Yeah, the first ship because first the Magic went, who is based out of Fort Lauderdale, and then the Fantasy, which we also had an agent on that one too, that went on the first Fantasy sailing to.
Which was there the following day, correct?
I think it was a few days later.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
But yours was technically
The first one.
yes, but like an invite. Like you got
Yes.
invited to go, whereas the Fantasy one was more like a
Right.
They were on the first actual booking
Right.
to go to the
But
island.
there were a lot of people that did regular booking on my cruise as well. On the
interesting.
Magic
Really?
as well.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
I
many
didn't know
people
that.
I knew that were also on the sailing
So they
to
had both.
experience it.
Okay.
And they, bought it first day it came out, and so they were
Which ship were
ready.
you on?
the Magic.
You were on the Magic.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Magic
do you
is now to
do you
Fort
love the
Lauderdale.
Magic?
I do love the Magic,
Yeah.
and it's funny because my son, who I used to, I have to drag on cruises with me now because he's been on so many. But while we were on the ship, he's like, I remember now why I love a lot of people who've been sailing for a while love the classic ships more.
Right.
Even though they don't have as much to do, it's more of an intimate vibe. And
I've heard the Wish has a really weird layout, and I've heard that from a lot of people. And
Right.
so I can see liking the older ships more where it feels like it's more cohesive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he just, once he was on it again, it's been years. It's been since before COVID. He didn't sail since 2018.
Oh wow!
And
So were you so excited to take him with you?
Oh yeah, and he just remembered how much he's like. I really like the smaller ships better.
Oh, that's sweet.
So
Okay,
that's good to
So
know.
the Magic and the Wonder, are those the sister ships?
They are the
yes.
Magic and the Wonder.
And then Dream and Fantasy,
And then-
which I love the Fantasy. You're going on the Dream
Yes.
in Europe, and those are sister ships, so they have the same layout.
And I love the Dream. The Dream is my favorite. Well,
Oh,
Dream
sweet.
Fantasy combined, but I've been on the Dream more. But I really like more things to do. I love their detective game.
Yeah,
there are other
right.
things. It seems like there was a little bit more things to do. I like the bigger ship. But like I said, it amazed me that Chase said he liked the smaller one. My husband loves the smaller ones.
Interesting.
That's very cool.
And
Okay,
then the
good to know.
Wish and the Treasure will be sisters.
Right.
And,
Yes.
And then we've got the Adventure, which probably
in
not a lot
Asia?
of people we know will be sailing
And
that one.
I heard someone. I'm a part of the group because I'm like, oh, I so want to be on that ship. But they mentioned that they think that when it comes out, it's going to be a non-Disney booking or
interesting.
whoever does it. Because think about all the people booking Singapore, China,
Right.
Yeah.
Japan. They're not going to speak English.
Right.
So they think they're going to have a third-party booking system.
Oh, good.
Well, and
More
also,
IT to worry about.
Absolutely.
Well, and also it kind of makes sense because is it Tokyo Disney that's not owned by Disney, right?
Right. The Oriental Land Company.
Right. And so I think that there's kind of some different regulations in Asia as well.
Right.
That would
and
probably
so it's suited and tailored for the Asian market.
Right.
And so even though there's going to be a lot of Americans going over there, because the Disney
Disney adults,
crazies
yeah. Yeah.
are ready to go.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I've noticed that Disney's stance on the cruise there, they're just very more, they don't mention it much. Right now
Okay.
they're focusing major on the Treasure and the Destiny,
Yes.
which are the next ones to come.
Right, the
Those are the ones
Destiny.
that they're really focusing most of their PR on.
Yes.
And it's because the Adventure is going to be in a different market, and we even think of third-party booking and all that stuff.
I've made this joke before, the Destiny. Do you think that, and it doesn't really work, but I'm still going to make it again. Do you think the Destiny uses echolocation? It's Bailey that uses echolocation.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why it doesn't really work.
No, it
but
doesn't
kind
work.
of. Do you know the reference?
No.
Finding Dory.
Oh, right.
Bailey and Destiny are the two whales that are in captivity,
Oh, yeah.
and Bailey's blind and uses echolocation.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway. Ha ha ha.
Destiny
Ba-dum-bum.
probably uses it too.
Probably. Okay. So, first of all, did you stop at other ports as well?
We did. We stopped at Nassau.
Okay.
At Nassau. Okay. And then
And no one got off the ship.
Interesting, because everyone wanted to keep exploring.
Yeah,
that's interesting
absolutely.
that nobody got off the ship.
I've heard that actually
There's
a lot.
There's a few.
Because probably a lot of the people that were on the ship with you have been to Nassau multiple times.
Multiple times.
And didn't need to do it again.
And not only that, but if there are people that haven't cruised that much, it's and we didn't have a sea day. And my favorite things on the cruise are the sea days.
Right.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so a lot of people use Nassau as a sea day. But I did see there were lots of people who did get off because there was a lot of media and stuff, and people who maybe haven't been on the Magic before.
Okay.
And so there were some people that got off. But I'm just saying most Disney vets use that as a
Stayed on the
sea
ship.
day.
Got it.
So you stayed on the ship that day
I did.
Okay.
I stayed on the ship that day.
because you love. That's interesting. Why do you love sea days?
Oh, I think sea days are fun too. They're just more relaxing. Yeah. Because getting off the ship is kind of a big ordeal sometimes.
I've only been on one cruise, and it was when I was pregnant. And so I think that my issue was that everything was relaxing because they wouldn't let me do anything. So I felt really bored on the sea days because I couldn't do anything on the port days.
On a lot of times Disney treats Nassau as a sea day. They have Palo brunch reservations on Nassau Day. They have trivia and activities all day, which on port days they don't.
Okay.
I find it more relaxing. It's a way where you don't have to get up early because sometimes
Yeah.
those port excursions are super, super early.
Right.
Super early.
Which is good because then they get you back to the ship on time before it leaves, right?
right.
Which is also my fear.
Oh, I've had nightmares about it.
Which, as we talk about Lookout Cay, we'll talk about that a little bit because you can't, from the main beaches, you can't see the ship, right?
Right.
Which that makes me panicky. I
They're
don't know
gonna
why. Yeah,
Right.
like I feel like I need to have the ship in my line of sight at all times. Okay, so let's first talk about exiting the ship and getting to the island. It's a process.
It is a process, yes.
So everything I watched, the videos that I watched, which I watched a lot, including ones that you shared. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, sure.
There's a long walk, which there were golf carts available for people who needed assistance with that long walk.
Yes, but they are very limited right
Few
now.
and far between.
So, yes.
Are they going to be adding more?
I hope so.
Okay.
We hope so also that they eventually cover that walkway.
Right.
maybe.
And so that's the other thing, too, is that there was no awning over the walkway, which they could put up those triangular things the length of the walkway and make it a little. But it was hot that day, wasn't it?
It was very, very hot. I think it was probably high 90s. I mean, it was super, super
And
hot.
it's so humid too, probably.
Very humid. Very humid.
And so
very
it's
hot.
about half a mile, 0.7 of a mile, something like that, to get from the ship to where you catch the tram.
Yes.
And then you catch a tram that's a 15-minute tram ride to get to the main beach area.
Yes. And when I first arrived, I was extremely confused because their map didn't really say what things were. And so I was lucky enough to be part of a group that had a cabana.
Right.
But it was on the family beach. So I saw family cabanas.
Okay.
And I saw family beach, family cabanas must be
Right.
at the family beach. Went all the way over there. Found
And there
out
were no family
they were the
cabanas.
Serenity Bay adults only at the family beach. So I had to turn around, take the tram all the way back. By the time, we were trying to get off the ship a little later since it was a media cruise and stuff like that. We thought, I'll give it a half an hour to give most of the people off. No, it was still backed up the stairwell and, because everyone was excited. They
Right.
wanted to be the first. They wanted to get footage with no one in them. And so by the time I got off the ship and took the wrong tram all the way out there, turned around to go back to the family cabanas. But the family cabanas do have the most beautiful beach you'll ever see.
I love it. Good.
I saw the water is stunning.
It's
Yeah.
stunning.
It's
the
prettiest
most
water ever.
Beautiful.
And it was temperature so fine. I'm a baby.
Me too.
And so, but I was able to go out in the water and I'm like, wow, this feels so good,
That's
especially in the
awesome.
heat.
Michelle, this is really what happened. You walked so that everybody else could run. Because honestly, like this was the first boat that had ever gone there and used this Lookout Cay area, Disney's area on this particular island. You weren't supposed to know all of these things. You
Right.
walked so everyone else can run. Now people can know that if you have a family cabana It's
You
not
don't
at
have
the
to go that
family
far.
beach.
Yeah.
It's not at the main beach. It's
Okay.
not at the beach where everything goes on.
Those are the
It's-
Serenity Bay adults only
It
cabanas.
is.
Why?
It is.
That's odd.
That is
that
a
odd?
little bit odd. I wonder if they'll end up
I
changing that up.
From what I've heard it because I was with, a lot of people that know more about those, background things. And they said that it had to do with the suitability of the waves and the tides, what's more suitable for family and which is better for adults.
Okay.
So I heard the one over at Serenity Bay that even though it's a family beach to the side, I think the area where the Serenity cabanas are, which are like right there. I mean,
Okay.
they're right there. But I just heard that it had to do with the beach. The
Okay.
beach was more
Interesting.
suitable for families on the other side. Maybe it is the view or maybe it's the waves.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. But a lot of people were in the water over at the family cabanas. They do have their own, because even though both restaurants are both over on the main beach, they do have their own little
Right.
food service that's there.
So how many food service areas are there?
There's two. There's True 2, or True Barbecue and True 2 Barbecue.
Okay.
Okay.
That's like a tongue twister.
Yeah.
trying
It
to
is
say
a tongue twister.
And then, of course, they have their own little, on the family cabana side, they have their own little food thing and iPads that you can actually order and they'll bring it to you.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, that is
That's
nice.
new.
And
That's
what
new.
about unlimited soft serve? Did you see any soft serve machines?
Yes, I
Okay,
did.
good. Okay,
In fact,
perfect.
yeah,
That's all I
took
needed to know.
pictures. Unlimited soft serve and
That's my
same with
favorite.
the drink stations. They're all kind of right in the
the
middle.
ice cream.
Yes.
Katie's
I
booking
just
tonight
think,
now that
right?
she knows.
No, I just love that the Castaway Cay, which I've been to, I love that it just feels like an extension of the cruise ship, but you're on a beach.
Absolutely.
So you've still got the unlimited soft serve
And they did this
food
as well.
and all of that. That's
it's
awesome.
true. They
Okay.
did do that extension. It felt the same. It seemed like they did have a little bit nicer food at the cabana
okay.
station, like crab legs.
Oh,
shrimp,
yeah.
salmon.
No, they didn't. Yeah, they don't have
That
that,
they-
at
that
That
Castaway
sounds,
Cay.
Katie,
Right.
that sounds right up your alley.
Right, crab legs.
Exactly,
and
so,
shrimp. Katie,
I have a
Katie has
shellfish
allergy.
Oh, right.
So not
That's
for me.
right. You're right. I remember that.
But
And I'm not
everybody else
any-
in my family loves that stuff. So.
Absolutely.
So she'll just
And
sit
we
on
don't.
one side
yes,
of the cabana.
we don't have it at home because we can't. So I like to let them have it when we're out.
That'll be the day that you go sit by the ice cream machine and let everyone else have crab legs.
Unlimited ice cream.
You edit this part out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the problem with that is that it brought all the flies.
Okay, but I wanted to talk a little bit about that.
And the good thing is Disney is aware.
Yes.
There have been a few complaints about flies
Okay.
on the island. But they are aware of it, and I'm sure, because you got to remember this island, that part of the island, they don't even have vegetation growing yet. They
Right.
had to have everything,
Right.
and it's all planted everywhere, but they're little tiny ones. So they need
Right.
time to grow. Same with the flies. They've been on this island.
I was going to say, you're intruding in the fly space.
Well, I was going
The
to say it's
natives.
been uninhabited.
Right.
And so eventually they will, I'm sure, do something.
Some kind
I'm
of
sure-
mitigation.
and exactly. And again, back to the same thing. You're walking so people can run because this is day one, right?
This
so
is
you're
day
there
one.
day one. It's not going to be the same a month from now.
Exactly.
6 months from now.
A
A
year
year from
from
now.
now.
Yeah.
there
And
are
I
always going to be bugs to work out.
And
You see what I did there?
Very clever. I like it a lot.
And remember, even when Disneyland first opened, nothing,
Yeah, exactly.
everything went
the Mark
wrong.
Twain tried to sink. Like things happen.
People's heels were sinking
right
into the asphalt.
in the asphalt.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's the same way. I look
Yeah.
at this as a great opportunity for them to take the feedback that they're given and to
Right.
be able to make it even better.
Which is
and that's what
probably
they're,
why they
that's-
do a media trip first.
Yeah, and so they're really good at taking and shifting gears and,
Yeah, they do.
and making. They're really good at adapting and improving and
Not the IT, but everything else, yes.
Okay, well, let's talk about what you loved about. So the water was beautiful.
water was beautiful.
The
The
cabana was really nice.
And the sand beaches, usually, I've been on other sand beaches and stuff, and, with them being natural and stuff, there's always like, little stones and little shells or something sharp things. But this was like the softest, sandiest,
like powdered sugar.
pink
Love it.
sand beach you'll ever see. And so the water was beautiful. Being on the family cabanas was beautiful because you had the best view of the ship. It was, definitely. And another thing that they really, really wanted, Disney really wanted to preserve was the island of Eleuthera and to
Right.
be able to incorporate that island traditions,
cultures
into their activities. So they had songs that that they sang that were island specific, that were of the Bahamian culture. They had parades that were part of, those bands that do they call the junkanoo. And it was part of the Bahamian culture with, the characters sprinkled in. And
so it's kind of immersive.
Yeah, very immersive. They have crafts that you make that are part of their headdresses and stuff that are part of the Bahamian culture. Everything, even the characters' costumes were of the Bahamian.
Yeah, and they're beautiful. I've seen pictures. They're very beautiful.
The characters are so cute.
They really wanted to make an effort to preserve that Bahamian culture and bring it to the island as much as they could.
Because they're part of this island,
They're part of this island.
It's not like Castaway Cay. It's not that private island. So, and I also heard that people can come into the area that are not on the cruise.
That is something they do need to work out.
Okay.
Because, yes.
Which how would they work that out? What would be the option?
Well,
because it's
hard
part of an island.
And it is law that every beach has to be public. I was going to say,
and their agreement with the Bahamian government is that, it's not a private area.
Right.
And so people can come in. Are they going to have day passes or...
I've heard that they have day passes, but I've also heard that people have been coming without day passes because you'd never know. We don't show any kind of room key or band or anything
to get
so how do you know who's there?
Which they probably will do at some point.
I think so. They're going to have to because they've got to be getting feedback about this.
But they won't ever be able to keep people off of the beach.
No.
So that will always be a thing.
And so, something to consider. We've mentioned it already. It's not a private island. Consider it a port. It's a port.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a great way to think about it.
You know what? It's like that in Hawaii, too. All of the beaches are public beaches. So even out in front of Aulani, anybody can come be on that beach. Anyone can be at the Four Seasons beach.
It's true.
They just can't use the amenities at the hotel.
Right, because you have bands there.
Right. So maybe that's something that they will fix in the future.
Yeah, so it'll probably end up being something similar to that.
Yeah, I bet they will.
Okay, and so what did you... Okay, this is another thing I noticed in the videos. I feel like those central areas where they do some of the shows and performances get very crowded. Yes. Okay, so if you're and again, this was a media cruise mostly, right? So these are people who are there to be filming content, and they're all Disney adults, obviously. And so this is not your average ship of people that's going to come in.
It's true. When it's going to be a normal
there are going to be a lot of people sitting on the beach and just playing in the water.
More kids.
Yes.
And they had a really, that was another thing that was really good. They had a really good splash area.
Oh, yeah.
Like rush out, gush out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really cute area. There weren't that many kids on that cruise. There were, but yet there weren't.
Right.
And so it was not that populated, but it will be lots of fun for the kids to go, and it's a combination. It doesn't empty into water the way Castaway Cay does with Pelican Plunge.
Okay,
it's more a self-contained on land.
On the land.
Okay, which some parents might like that better. The thing about Pelican Plunge is if you had littles, you had to be out there with them the entire time because it goes into deep water.
Oh, and it's a saltwater gush to your face.
Yes,
yes. This one is more like like my grandkids would like going to it because it's something that doesn't go just into water.
Maybe better for littles.
And the thing that I heard about that is not only with the water play area, because they didn't have like a Pelican Plunge area. They had it more, like I said, inland. Mm-hmm. And they also had wooden pier walkways instead of pouring cement. They wanted to limit their footprint on the island. Okay. So they did wooden piers. They didn't, I think I heard that they also could not put anything out in the water. Okay. So it had to be inland.
Yeah.
And I think that will grow and improve as well.
Yeah, that sounds like it's beautiful. It's probably way more maintenance than they would like, right?
Oh, right.
Wood is hard to maintain, but that sounds really pretty.
I kind of feel like the overall...
And fresh water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's
Instead
nice.
of Pelican Plunge,
that's
salt water.
Totally nice.
Some people don't like the salt water.
Right.
Oh, yeah, some people don't.
So these are going to be freshwater things inland.
Okay. So I feel like the vibe I got, especially like we mentioned a little bit, the vegetation is brand new. It's still growing. I feel like it's got a lot of great potential. Mm-hmm. I feel like there are some kinks that need to be worked out, obviously, with anything that's new.
Right.
But it's got really great potential. And that water is just amazing.
And I love what you said, and I didn't think about it that way, but that's the best way to think of it, is a port stop. This is a port stop. Mm-hmm. Don't compare it to Castaway Cay.
Right.
It's a Disney port stop, right? So it's going to have that Disney feel, but it's not that private space.
Not as exclusive.
Right.
So overall, if a family was booking a cruise, would you recommend they do a Castaway Cay stop or a Lighthouse Point?
I feel like I know the answer to this.
I would say Castaway Cay.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
But if you go there with expectations of knowing what to expect, Lighthouse Point still has some beautiful things that Castaway Cay does not have.
Right.
So they're both different in their own ways, just like Disneyland versus Disney World,
Right.
Where they
Absolutely.
each have their own things in their own way. But if you go with the right expectations, and you won't be disappointed. Or
And also, your answer might change again in 6 months.
It's
It might
true.
change in a year because these kinks may be getting worked out. And like I said, there's the potential there for you walked so people could run. There's the potential there for it to be amazing
Yeah.
in
And-
a pretty short period of time.
And
Oh, yeah.
hopefully they'll figure out, put some rickshaws or something on those.
That'd be kind of fun.
Oh, that would. Someone
Those
mentioned.
bicycles,
Someone
yeah.
said, "Hey, if someone had like those bikes going on,
Yeah.
like they do at Universal,
Yeah.
to take you to and from the hotels,
That'd be
right?
perfect. Oh,
that'd
They're
be
like,
so
I'd
fun.
so much pay $20 to have
You
them
totally
just bike
would.
down
Yes.
the thing." But
And I've also seen the joke that, how Castaway has the Castaway Cay 5K.
Oh, yeah.
yes,
The 5K
That is their
the
5K.
hike from the ship to, that's
That's
their
true.
5K. So at the end, if they would just hand out medals to everybody.
just imagine the weight you'll lose.
I know. Schlepping yourselves back and forth to the ship.
You can have as much ice cream as you want when you get there because you pre-burned the calories.
Can you
With the sweat.
imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you forgot something on the ship?
Oh, man.
And you got to the beach and you
Or
were
went
like,
to the wrong cabanas.
yes.
Yes.
Or can you imagine you'd be like, I
You
forgot
just
the
you just go
sunscreen.
buy it at a shop. You would not go back to the ship, I don't think. Maybe
Oh.
Disney's counting on that.
Hopefully.
The merchandise is great,
Oh, I
by the
bet.
way.
Is
It's
it?
great merchandise.
Awesome.
But,
Did you bring us a souvenir? Okay,
I have
anyway.
it.
Put her on the spot.
No, I have it. I should have done
kidding,
that.
I'm kidding.
I was like begging
obviously, I'm
people,
kidding.
please take this.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
Yes.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Anyway, it looked lovely.
It
really
is lovely.
Did look
The
lovely.
merchandise is beautiful. The food was great. The atmosphere was beautiful. It definitely has some, and the island culture was beautiful.
The entertainment.
The entertainment was beautiful. It's just kind of know what to expect, and you'll have a beautiful day.
Yeah.
I have a vision. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
I have a vision in my mind. This is going to happen for me at some point. I don't know if it's Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point, but
Or Castaway Cay.
or Castaway Cay. I want to go find myself a sandbar with blue water all around it and just walk my little behind out to the middle of the sandbar and plop myself down and just not have anything around me and just be all alone on it.
Oh.
With a pina colada in your hands, maybe?
Yes. Yes. Something like that. You want to go with me?
I
Let's
do.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say that sounds really fun.
Yeah.
I looked at the map. I zoomed in. Are you able to access the rest of the island while you're there?
Yes.
You are. So you're able to head over into the non-Disney areas as well.
Yes, but it's kind of like at your own risk type thing.
Yeah, and I'm sure
Okay.
it's quite the walk.
Do they
too.
have
It's a mile and a half.
Okay. Do they have excursions that will take you to the rest of the island?
Not now.
Okay.
Ooh,
but
that's
at some
a
point
good
maybe.
idea.
I
Yeah.
could totally see them doing that.
Because
They don't
I
even-
looked and there are sandbars.
And not only that, but in the future, they didn't have it ready for our cruise because they weren't ready. But I heard they're going to have bicycle rentals, and that
Oh,
you
see,
can
that would be so
use
nice.
to get.
What's the island called? Eleuthera?
Eleuthera, yeah.
Because there are some sandbars around it that look like the kind of sandbar I'm imagining in my brain.
That
And
sounds
isn't
fun.
that where you can go swim with pigs too when you go on an
And
excursion?
Exuma?
Oh, Exuma. That's
Yeah.
the
I
one
want
I'm
to go
thinking
to
of. Yeah.
Exuma's another one
But
that has a lot
yeah,
of
maybe you could
sandbars.
take a little boat out to Exuma and swim with pigs.
I need to go to the Bahamas.
They
I
do
really
do that as an excursion on some other cruise
Right.
lines.
You can do it from
Royal.
I think
Royal
you can
Caribbean.
do it from
Perfect
Nassau,
day.
but it's a long.
The pigs
it's a
make
long
me
trip.
nervous.
They do. Why
do.
Why they would bite you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, what if that little bugger clamped down on your arm?
I don't
They're
know. I don't
so
feel like they
used to
have sharp teeth.
people.
Really?
I don't think so.
You don't?
Pigs?
Yes.
They have sharp teeth?
Well, like I relate pigs to boars.
Oh, I don't.
Maybe
know.
that's the problem. Is
Just
like
not
wild
without the
boars.
Yeah.
Right?
Horns.
Have you
Or the
been
teeth.
bitten by a pig before?
No, but if it's going to happen, it's going to happen to me.
All right.
Is it an irrational fear?
Maybe. Might
Possibly. Speaking of irrational fears, what are we doing this afternoon?
Oh, we're going to Inside Out too.
Yes. We're going to go
Excited.
see Inside Out too
Oh,
today.
good.
So I'm excited to
We're
see
going to do it
Anxiety.
for science.
For
We're going to go
science.
see it for you guys so we can review it for
I
you
will
next
see
week.
it on the ship, which, by the
Oh,
way,
I know. That's so fun.
is very, very fun to do because they
Yes.
always premiere
The
their
brand
whatever
new. Yep.
movie's coming out in the big theater,
Yeah.
and it's fun because then you can see it for
Yes.
included in your cruise.
Right, for free,
And
essentially.
I
Disney
got
math.
rocked. I got rocked to sleep in a Disney theater on the cruise ship once.
bet you did.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's lovely.
I must
They're
admit.
dark and beautiful
And wobbly.
and wobbly sometimes.
And some people have more, where it affects them more than others. For me, it's never affected me.
Oh, it never
I'm like,
bothers me either.
Whee!
No, it's my favorite. Okay, yeah, let's shift gears.
Let's come back
to Florida.
Terra Firma.
Now, Florida now, right?
Yes,
Tiana.
back to Florida.
Because right after that first sailing for Lookout Point.
Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point.
Yes. Sorry. No, it's going to be funny.
It's fine. And also, every single person listening to this can relate.
Yep.
Okay, because I get them mixed up. And
so does everyone.
And right after
when we did our training at Disneyland and they were talking about it, even the
presenters.
The presenters were like, it's such a terrible name. It's such a terrible name. Nobody's going to remember it. Everyone's going to confuse it constantly forever.
It's probably good to just remember one and stick with it.
Lighthouse Point.
Lookout Cay,
At
Lighthouse Point. Either one.
But then you're going to overthink it and say
That's
it
what I
backwards
do.
anyway.
So I'm like, instead of
Doesn't
doing
matter.
both, I'm just going to focus on one. Yeah. And you'll know what I mean, because why say
Also-
both when you know they're the same place?
Anyway, back in Orlando.
And it's great because for the Disneyland people, this is just a taste of what's going to come.
Exactly.
Soon, hopefully. We're
Hopefully,
hoping. Oh, that'll
yes.
get announced this afternoon as well,
For sure.
probably.
It will?
That and
Oh,
probably.
no.
Probably.
It just always happens
Knowing
after we
our
record.
luck, of
Yes.
course.
That and Oogie Boogie Bash.
You're right. It's going to
Both
happen
are being
as soon.
announced. And we also just, nobody knows this because we hit pause and then we're going to edit, but we also paused a moment ago because Katie finally got into her Run Disney, but
Sure
it
did.
showed sold out for everything.
Yep, it's all sold
immediately.
out. So too bad for all of you and me.
Anyway, okay,
Tiana's. So it was it's such a cute switch, because think about it, not many people are used to the whole Song of the South. I mean,
Right.
sure, we came to love Brer Bear, Brer Fox,
Right.
Brer Rabbit,
Right.
but the thing is, no one knew
their stories.
their stories, and so this is kind of cute because everyone loves anything with Tiana, and The Prince and the Frog is a sure hit. Everyone, for the most part.
The music
And
is good.
Yeah, so it was really cute. They had Tiana several times throughout it. They had lots of critters and
Which are new
little
also.
bands. They are. There were none of the.
Do you know any of their names?
Oh, geez, no.
What are
Oh, you mean Ray and stuff? Ray
No,
the
no, no.
Firefly?
The
No,
new
no,
critters.
The new critters
are.
Bahalia? Isn't that one Bahalia?
Oh, my
I don't know.
word.
They all have like
Apollo.
kind of Creole-ish names, right?
Yes, Apollo.
Are these the ones that were in the band?
Timo Leon. That's one of their names.
Oh.
Timo Leon.
Huh.
I don't know how I remember that.
That's funny.
I did not Google that. That came from my brain.
A couple of them will have names on the new storefront over
Yes.
there. Somebody's hats.
That's Ray's Braze.
Ray's
That's
Berets.
Ray.
And then who's the other one? It was like,
Timo Leon. He's my favorite.
what kind of a critter is he?
I don't remember.
I'm like, no, I didn't know any of those names.
There's Apollo. I remember Apollo, Bahalia,
But what are they?
different raccoon,
Is there a beaver?
a beaver. There's a
There was a few frogs that you could tell.
Oh, I
possum.
bet there's a frog, maybe.
There were
well,
frogs, but they weren't Prince Naveen.
They weren't the frogs.
Oh, I was like, wait, that's probably the princess. But I just remember Bahalia,
Okay.
Apollo, and
And
Timo
Timo
Leon.
Leon.
There you go. All right. Well,
But it was very, very cute. The logs were the exact same as they were before, which I'm thinking will stay in Disneyland the way they had the logs, you
Yeah.
know, front
Single
to back,
file.
single file. I hate that.
do you? I like it.
I like the. I don't
like
like,
the-
some
You like the side by
stranger's
side?
knees in my waist. That's just me.
You just got to go with more people.
Would you like
that you
it
know.
right?
Would you like it more if they put their hands up around you?
like it's almost like you're forcing people into like kind of the way the Matterhorn was. When
Yes,
you
I
had
was just
to
gonna say that.
straddle a total
Remember
stranger.
that?
Disney,
And
where
put the seatbelt around both of you.
Oh my
where you get
God.
to spoon a stranger.
It's the best.
Exactly what it is. So I like the Disney World version
Got
where you
it.
sit side by side, and if you're a single person, then you can have your own, your own space. I still remember going in high school and going on the Matterhorn, and
With a stranger.
yes,
Oh, was it a cute boy though?
but yes, and that makes it even worse.
What is worse?
I'm
the
a
cute
senior
boy?
in high school.
Or what if it was like a 70-year-old's hairy knees right next to you?
Exactly. So I'm like, come on, Disney, please don't make us straddle strangers anymore.
funny. That is funny.
But for the most part, the logs were the same. They've changed all the, the animatronics, of course, but they're so cute, and so really there's nothing, besides experiencing it, that it's just a very cute ride. I think it was a positive change, and
Well, and you mentioned the more you went on it, the more you grew to love it. I saw you posted about that.
did.
So, and
I
that's
caught
good to hear.
How many times were you able to ride it?
Well, the first time for the media preview, it was once, and it was lucky to be once. And then the next time I was able to go like 5 times in a row.
It's awesome.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
fun.
And
cool.
and that one was really nice where you can hear more without people talking.
It has some new music, right? Like it's not
you're
all,
right.
It's
They
not
did
all
a new
songs
song
you know.
at the end.
Which I
And-
kind of like.
Yeah, I think that's fun.
I'll miss Pretty Good Sure as You're Born. I'll miss
Oh,
that.
I know, you're right.
But it'll be fun to learn a new one and to start loving a new song.
And we always have YouTube for the other one.
That's right. You can listen to the sounds of the Disneyland Resort website.
Kids,
Right.
Kids gather around the campfire while we watch this old video from Disneyland.
Right.
Okay, so I have seen a lot of people being evacuated. It has kind of had some breakdowns. Did you have any breakdowns?
Yes.
You did? Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you get evacuated ever?
We didn't get evacuated, but there was one time where the start time was supposed to be at a certain time, and it was delayed an hour, 2 hours.
Was that when the cast was in line and they started singing?
That
Did
was
you
not,
see that?
I didn't, but that's so cute.
That
Oh,
is
you're
cute.
right.
They were
was
on the
there.
boats.
Just so you know, I exited off my boat as they were walking on.
I think, did you take a video?
I
think you
did.
did. I saw that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the cast, we don't mean cast members. We mean the actual
You're
cast
right.
of the Princess and the Frog.
I was thinking the
Yes.
cast member preview, but no, the
No,
cast.
yeah.
I saw Tiana.
Dr.
I saw
Facilier was
Dr.
there, which
Facilier.
I was kind of sad because he's not on the ride.
He doesn't
at
get
all.
a lot of
He is
love.
And it
not
makes
on
me
the ride
sad
at
that he's
all.
not on the
Yeah.
ride.
They didn't want to make it scary with voodoo. There was even
Come
a
on.
show. There was even a show that used to be. It's been discontinued on the Disney Cruise Line, which was called Villains Tonight. They used to have a Dr. Facilier song, and they took it out because people complained about
It
the
was
voodoo.
spooky?
Voodoo.
The voodoo. I could see that, I
Interesting.
guess.
I did have, what was I listening to? I was listening to a podcast recently. I can't remember which one. But they were talking about they have hope for an overlay. Like they have hope that maybe during the holidays
that'd be
that there
fun.
would be an overlay on
You
that.
never know.
A Dr.
You never know.
Facilier
Yeah.
themed ride. I
Yeah.
love that. Friends on the other side of
It
the
would
drop,
be so
right?
fun, right?
We know
Disney-
who'll get it too.
Yeah.
Disneyland.
Yes.
Of course. Of course.
They get all the awesome overlays.
The child that Disney loves
Them in
the
Tokyo.
most. Yes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But for the most, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. But for the most part, it was, they didn't have to, it was Tiana. So it was Ray. Sorry, I'm thinking of Lewis. So Ray, Lewis, Tiana, Mama Odie, Lottie, and I think that's it because it was the 3 guys and then the 3 gals.
And there's video that's been all over Instagram
of
where,
her singing.
of Mama Odie singing.
When they got stuck.
Yes.
So sweet. I
Which
love
how
it.
cool would that have been?
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
It'd be so cool.
I was not there because I had already exited as they were, but at least I got to see them all get
I think
all
that's
walk
so
right,
cool.
got goosebumps.
walk right past me and get on it. It's
That's
like,
really
oh,
cool.
I want to say, I love you.
I know.
Thank you for this beautiful ride.
Yeah,
So cool.
Yeah, and so they were on it and got off. I did notice that the more people went through, the more it stopped. Like, because the last 3 times I went, I was in a log by myself, and it went through smoothly. Then,
Okay.
when there were no people, but when there was
Interesting.
tons of people,
I wonder
it
if weight in the
stopped.
boats was
It stopped
having an issue
all the time.
But did Splash Mountain itself ever break down? I don't remember
Maybe
hearing
they're
about it
trying to
breaking
use lower
time.
water.
It did?
All the
okay. Well, I
time.
don't feel like Disneyland's breaks down very
No.
often. So
Maybe
maybe,
they're
we won't
trying-
have that same issue.
Maybe they're fiddling with water levels
Maybe,
or something like
maybe.
that. I don't know.
And you got to realize some people need extra time getting in and out of the boats and or the logs, and so that could cause things to because it just
Sure.
seemed like it stopped throughout the whole way.
Right.
I could never do a good video of it straight through because it was always stopping for 5
Right.
minutes,
Right.
But when I went the last 3 times, I was able to get it smooth the way it was supposed to be. No stops.
But again, I feel like this is just kinks that they'll work out.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
no
sure.
problem.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So I feel like
That-
you got to experience both of these things when they had kinks. You were the trial run.
I'm the trial run.
Right.
I'm the guinea pig. And they did tell me that usually I was like, oh, this will be really good when this is going because it's a good people eater. And they said that their main thing is to get those boats going every 14 seconds.
Oh my gosh,
That's what a cast member told
That
me
is
is every
fast.
14 seconds. So that thing is moving.
yeah.
And so
So let's talk about this. When it opens to the general public, which is what, the 28th?
the 28th.
Okay,
28th.
the 28th. That's when Oogie Boogie's going on sale too.
Oh,
While you're in Glacier.
of course.
I'll be back by the 28th, so
Okay.
that'd be nice if they wait till then. It is going to be virtual queue.
Yes.
and
Genie Plus.
Yes,
not
they will.
individual Lightning
Correct.
Lane. Right.
Right.
So I wonder if they'll follow the same at Disneyland.
I
when it
imagine they
opens.
probably will.
Yeah. But that'll be good.
We'll see.
Have they ever used? Oh, they did virtual. Line for
Rise
like
and web slingers.
web slingers.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Do we currently have a virtual queue for
No.
just for World of Color?
Nope.
World of Color is the only one that has a virtual queue at the Disneyland
Right now.
Resort currently. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So they'll probably do that. They'll
Well,
have the
cool.
space to do it. So it was a really good. Yeah.
That makes-
definitely exciting to look forward to.
Yeah, that
coming
makes
to
us really
Disneyland.
excited for when that happens, and hopefully, before the fall, or at least the beginning of the fall would be nice.
And it was nice that Disney World's open first because last time Rise opened first at Disneyland,
Yes.
and we had to wait. And now we opened first.
We've thrown you a bone. You're welcome.
Yes.
I know.
You get
I
one. That's
know.
it.
Yeah, it's true.
All right.
Yes,
Thanks.
awesome.
Thanks for
Thank you.
telling us
We
about
love
these
having
fun
you
new
on.
things.
No, thank you.
And we're going to keep you around for our little Patreon episode, which we're going to record right now. So if you are not a member of the Patreon and you want to join us over there, be sure to join us on our Patreon. And also, if you haven't yet, subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. We appreciate those so much. In about a year, we'll read your review.
Yes. We may have to start reading 2 per episode, I
know.
think.
Maybe we'll just do
one
an
at the
episode-
beginning, one at the end.
We'll just do an episode of reviews. We'll just read through a bunch.
But we'll read them like theater style.
That would actually
Yes,
be kind
we'll
of fun.
act them out.
Let us know if you want us to do that because it might be kind of fun. Theater.
Oh my gosh, yes.
'Kay.
Yes, just like that.
Yes.
And make sure you're following us on Instagram at Ropedrop.Parkhop and our fun discussion group, Rope Dropping and Park Hopping, on Facebook. And I think that's it. Email us, ask us your questions, tell us what we're doing good.
Just message us on Instagram. Ask us how our day's going.
Yes,
We love
ask
visiting.
us about the weather. We haven't talked about the weather today yet.
It's hot.
Okay. See you guys next week.
Bye.